In Enduro 1, there was a tight three-rider battle between Germain, Guerrero and Micheluz. The Italian never recovered from a poor showing in the morning stages and in the end had to settle for 7th. Cristobal Guerrero lost the advantage he'd built earlier on in the final extreme test, finishing 16 seconds behind Marc Germain, who he battled all day long. The Frenchman took 5th on Sunday and still is to crack the top 3 in 2008. Following his retirement in Portugal, Germain's total hopes are looking rather slim. Iro Remes continued his strong riding to finish 4th. That's doing his bid for an end-of-year top 3, no harm at all. Simone Albagoni got a slice of revenge. On day 1 from the Enduro 1 newcomer, the Italian took 3rd for 27 seconds, but Remes was far off the pace on the first 2 in Enduro 1. In riding all day long, never separated by more than a second, Ivan Cervantes and Mika Ahola, who we see here, ran away from the rest of the field. Neither put a wheel wrong and rode on at identical speed. It all came down to the final time sector of the weekend. Cervantes put in a personal best, but Ahola, let's not forget, is the reigning BMW Motorrad Extreme Test Awards winner. And in Spain, that was the difference. Ahola winning by just 0.62 seconds. BMW is still quite a young team in the WEC, and the learning process took a setback with clutch problems, forcing both Jean-François Goblet and Simo Kirsi to drop out. It was also the case for Suzuki rider Freddy Blanc. The stages were fast, making hard to build a significant lead, but mistakes and crashes did their part to change the racing order. Alessandro Bellometti took 6th, but it could have been better had he not dropped more than 30 seconds on the extreme test. Fabrizio Dini was 5th after he too took a fall on the Enduro test, but the Italian is still one of the riders in the championship to keep an eye on. 2007 Rookie of the Year Frenchman Rodrigue Tin scored a career best 4th place despite losing time as well on the Extreme Special. Antoine Mayo has even less Enduro experience than Rodrigue Tin, but for the moment he's quicker than his compatriot. The factory Husqvarna rider took a trip to the E2 podium in 3rd place and leads the second-tier group, finishing 1 minute 21 seconds from the 2 class leaders. You may have heard of them before, Johnny Aubert and Juha Salminen. The Finn was hungry for revenge after retiring on Saturday and put the hammer down in the opening stages. For his part, Aubert didn't let up, and the Frenchman's performances gave the factory KTM rider more than a few things to think about, because there now are 2 E2 superstars. Aubert rode fast and consistently for a 15-second win over Juha Salminen.
C'est vraiment très difficile, ouais, vraiment très dur à toute la journée.
It is really hard, really hard to have a bike and ride like this all day long, separated by less than a second. He didn't slow down, nor did I. We ran 100% in the specials, and to ride like that really takes its toll.
Johnny was good. He was riding really good whole day, so, and I have my black moments.
You feel confident for the rest of the championship?
Yeah, why not? You know, it's still of course 25 points behind, but you know, I can win the race and make a good competition, so it's just I have to win, nothing else.
In Enduro 3, like all the other categories, the dust was public enemy number 1 for the riders. It wasn't a concern on the liaisons in the vineyards, but the first riders in the time sectors had a clear advantage. Marcus Keir and Sebastian Guillaume set off just after the leaders and had themselves one mighty scrap. The German is one of the riders currently on form and held off the Frenchman until the final clock section of the day, but Guillaume's experience came through, edging Keir for 3.65 seconds. There were battles throughout the E3 hierarchy, and perhaps the best was for 2nd place between Merriam, Takala and Nombatan. The Australian showed to be intractable on the extreme test, and is often the case. He was much faster on day 2 than on day 1. He came home in 4th. Marco Takala finished 2 seconds clear of Merriman for 3rd. His times and results are a fine example of consistency, but like the previous day, Nombotin's strategy paid dividends. The Frenchman has nothing to lose in this championship, and on his day, he put his head down and went for it, posting 4 best times and a second place finish. He continues to be one of the revelations of 2008.
Samouli, même Tarkala qui a eu un petit souci sur la fin, mais
Samouli and even Tarkala had problems towards the end. They have so much experience, they know how to deal with all the pressure. They ride really consistently, but to be able to battle with them and show him right up there is a good sign. Samouli Aro kept a close eye on Nombotin all day long, and he managed to keep the Frenchman at a safe distance, 10 seconds in arrears. Armed with an indestructible self-confidence, the Finn rode on for his 5th win. When he realised how little time he had to prepare himself following a knee operation over the winter and his lack of two-stroke experience, Aro is the clear-cut favourite to win the title.